I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. We know that it is a little disconcerting for you as you are trying to go to bed tonight. You're hearing the heavy rain, maybe seeing the flashes of lightning and rumbles of thunder. We're going to be with you here for a bit on 11 Alive Plus live as we are tracking this rain that is moving through our area. It is not only heavy rain, but as I mentioned, we also have the thunder and lightning that is out there, as well as the heavy rain accompanied by some flood warnings and the flood watch that is in effect through the rest of the overnight hours. And these flood warnings over in West Georgia, one of them is considerable threats there. Now, we're seeing things in West Georgia starting to calm down a little bit, but we still have this really heavy rain that's moving through Atlanta right now and the rest of North Georgia, stretching down south and also to the west of the city. So we're going to do this extended update here on 11 Alive Plus, tracking this heavy rain that is moving through right now. You can see here how we have this heavier rain over the city of Atlanta, the yellows and oranges and reds. This is a pretty persistent rain that is moving through, and of course it is heavy. Notice this south of the city, that is a little more intense. That's moving through western Coweta County right now. The good news about this is that even though we have heavy rain, even though we have thunder and lightning, these are not classified as severe storms. In order to be severe, we would have to have winds at 57 miles an hour or greater, or hail the size of an inch size or larger. We do not have that out there for tonight. So we don't have severe weather over us. It is just this really heavy rain and also the thunder and lightning. The lightning count, though, has come down. What we've been seeing is that even though the lightning was pretty fierce there in Alabama and into West Georgia, as this has been moving into the metro area, it's moving into some more stable air. So it is kind of knocking down the intensity of these storms moving through. Over in West Georgia, I want to show you the flood warning that we have in effect. And I'm going to take the radar off for a second so you can see the warning. Now, there's a large polygon right here indicating the flood warning for Bartow, Haralson, Paulding, and Polk County until 3:45. In the middle, you see that right there? That is another warning on top of that, kind of narrowing it down a little bit. That is an elevated risk for any flood damage there in the middle of this, from southern Bartow County through Polk County into the northern parts of Haralson County. We did see a lot of areas over in Polk County. We had numerous roads that had some flooding issues going through there. We also had a water rescue of a woman who needed to get out of her house, that they had to go in and get her out. But we're hearing from the emergency manager in Polk County that it is starting to let up a little bit. They still have flooded areas, but at least they're seeing the intensity of the rain let up just a little bit over in parts of West Georgia. On the north side, we're seeing here in northwest Georgia things a little bit quieter as the back edge of that rain has moved on through. We're also watching, though, still that heavy rain in Gilmer County, into the southern parts of Fannin County, into Lumpkin County, White County, heavy rain here in parts of Dawson County, northern parts of Hall County here, northern Forsyth County, moving into White County, Cleveland up to Helen and into Habersham and Rabun counties, that heavier rain that's moving through. But notice here north and west, some breaks there. Still some rain back in Alabama that's going to move through, but it's not to the intensity as we had just a little bit earlier. The other thing we're watching here is on the south side. This is going to be an interesting band to watch right here. Again, not severe, but it's some really heavy rain in the southern parts of Carroll County, moving into western Coweta County, stretching down into Troup County. Also some of that heavier rain going through parts of Heard County. Can you notice here, though, the lightning with this? More intense as it was in Alabama. As it's moving into Georgia, we're watching that lightning count come down. And that is thanks to that wedge of cooler air that we have over our area. So that's knocking down the intensity of some of these storms as they move through. Here is part of the bigger picture. There's that leading edge through Atlanta there on the east side. More of that heavy rain in North Georgia, stretching back here along the I-85 corridor on the south side. That's where we have that heavier rain that's about to move into Coweta, into Noonan. I'm going to show you that tower cam coming up here in just a second, stretching down toward the LaGrange range area. Still some thunder and lightning back into Alabama, but notice here that the intensity of that even back in Alabama is starting to come down somewhat. So West Georgia, you still have some rain coming through there, but it's not as intense as it was a little bit earlier when we had all of that water that was collecting there that prompted that considerable threat for damage. Here is a look at the additional lightning that we're watching back. In fact, let me put this on full screen because I want to show you here what we've got with these storms as they're rolling on through. And those storms are going to start weakening a bit as they continue to move into that wedge of cooler air. Now, notice the lightning with this back in Alabama, and I also want you to notice that in South Alabama, we have this tornado watch that is in effect. It was a new watch was issued from the other watch that they had that really expanded the watch area just up to the Georgia state line. So no counties in Georgia are included in this tornado watch. We have had numerous tornado warnings stretching back through Mississippi, into parts of Louisiana, and into southwestern parts of Alabama. Really, that's where most of the instability is with the warm air that is in central and south Alabama, from Montgomery down toward the south. So that is the area more favored for any severe weather to happen there in South Alabama. Again, no parts of Georgia are included in this watch, but we're going to be watching this line as it moves through on the south side. As the air is warmer in central and south Georgia, those are the spots overnight that could see some of those storms could turn strong. And we'll keep an eye on that to see if any counties on our south side are going to be included in a tornado watch for the overnight hours. But as of right now, the only watch we have is a flood watch. That's everything you see here in green in North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, and down on the south side, there is the flood warning that we're talking about in West Georgia, including Haralson County, Polk County, parts of Paulding County, Bartow County, Southern Floyd is in that as well. That is supposed to expire at 3:45 this morning. And again, the one in the middle is more of an elevated risk here, but things are improving in Polk County as the intensity of the rain is kind of coming down just a little bit as those storms roll through there. More of that possible here on the south side. Notice also these flood warnings in North Alabama and also in parts of central Alabama. So that just goes to show you a lot of people are getting a lot of rain, and it is causing a lot of problems in some spots there. But that is the main threat that we are watching with these storms moving through. So we're keeping this weather impact alert through the overnight hours. The impact is watching these rounds of heavy rain that are moving through our area. And if you're out and about tonight, watch for flooding. That is the issue. It is dark outside. You may have some water ponding on the roads, and you may not see it until it's too late. Also, if you see water covering a lane or a roadway, don't cross it. You need to turn around and not drive through it because you just don't know how low that road is going to go. It'll look flat when you're looking at the water, but the road beneath it may be going down a little bit and you don't realize it until it's too late and until your car starts to float. Here is a live look right now. This is our tower cam in Rome. We've been watching this tonight and we have seen varying intensities of the rain. In Rome, the roads are still wet. You can see the flag blowing here. There goes a truck going through downtown Rome. This car coming in, earlier that light was illuminating when the cars would drive by. The light would illuminate the heavy rain coming down and all that water on the road. But now the roads are wet. We really don't see any heavy rain coming down right now. So conditions are improving over in the Rome area. This is down in Coweta County in Noonan. And I told you a moment ago as I was watching that line, there you see some lightning there in Coweta County. I was showing you that line of heavier rain that was getting closer to Noonan. It's in western Coweta. It's beginning to move into Noonan right now. And you can see all the heavy rain that we have there coming in on the courthouse. You can see the raindrops that are hitting the lens there, acting with that light, kind of making little prisms there as we're looking into that light. But that's some good heavy rain coming down right now in the Noonan area. And we just saw some of those flashes of lightning there on the south side. So again, not as much lightning as we had earlier, but we are seeing some of that down to the south of us. The almanac very interesting today because we saw our high temperatures only up to 42 degrees and our low was 39. That's just a 3-degree range in temperatures. Below average, we should be at 58 for this time of year. Look at the precipitation for today. This is the amount of rain as of 8 o'clock. They'll update this almanac again tomorrow. We saw more than 2.3 inches of rain because we saw a lot of rain come in after 8 o'clock. So I'm thinking that this deficit of 1/2 of an inch is going to be wiped out and we'll have a surplus after all is said and done tomorrow. The temperatures have been interesting. Now, this is what I want you to notice here. We were at 39 early in the morning. We held at 40 for a while. Then we went up to 41. Then we held at 42 from 1 in the afternoon until 11 o'clock. Now at midnight, interesting, it's only 1 degree, but those temperatures that held at 42 the entire day, actually at 43 now. So going up 1 degree. The reason I'm watching temperatures rising during the overnight hours is because of that wedge that has been protecting us from severe weather is going to start warming up a little bit through the overnight hours. So it looks like we may be even a little warmer tomorrow morning when we wake up. So that kind of matches up with the severe weather risk that we are watching tonight too. As I told you yesterday, the Storm Prediction Center had more of an area and a level 2 risk. I wasn't really buying it because I was thinking that the wedge would hold strong today and not scour out. So far that wedge has held on and didn't scour out. That's protecting us from the severe weather. But what we're watching overnight, if those temperatures warm up a little bit more through the overnight hours, then is it going to warm up enough for the air to become a little more unstable? Right now it's cool and stable. So as those storms move in, you saw the lightning count coming down. You saw the storms weakening a little bit, not as strong. We think that is going to still hold overnight. But it's interesting to watch as temperatures climb up through the overnight hours. Will we see any of those storms on the south side turn strong? Right now, I'm not overly concerned about that for our southern counties in our viewing area. Central and South Georgia, you may see some of those storms turn strong. But here is what we're watching. There's that wedge, the blue color showing that cooler air. We've gone from 42 now to 43. It is 43 in Peachtree City. Earlier, LaGrange was 46. They're now up to 50. So what we're watching the LaGrange temperature and the Thomaston temperature because the warmer air would be scouring out from the southwest moving up to the northeast. So really, that's only some minor warming by just 4 degrees in LaGrange over the past few hours, but at least it is some warming coming in. We've moved up only 1 degree here in Atlanta at 43. We still have 39 in Duluth and in Athens. So we're thinking this stable, cooler air is going to help to protect us in the overnight hours from a severe weather threat. We're still going to have the heavy rain pushing through. We're still going to have some thunder and lightning, but just not as crazy thanks to the stable air kind of bringing down the intensity of that. So here's what we're watching. There's that heavier rain coming through our area right now after the midnight hour. That keeps moving through at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're still going to be watching this on the south side. That will have some heavy rain with it. We'll keep an eye on those temperatures on the south side to see if they warm up enough to maybe turn a little more unstable. But we'll keep watching that overnight. And then by tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, really the rain is going to be out of here and the storm threat is going to be gone. The thing that we'll be still dealing with in the morning is the roads are still going to be wet. We're still going to have clouds around. You're still going to have to watch for ponding on the roadways, whatever doesn't drain off overnight. We're also going to have to still be watching creeks and streams through those overnight hours just to make sure they're not overflowing their banks. And really, after the rain ends, we can still get a lot of runoff going into those creeks and streams, and the waters can still rise even when the rain is over. So that'll be our focus in the early morning hours. And then during the day tomorrow, drier air is going to start moving in. You'll see here that the clouds are going to start breaking up. Sunshine will start coming through. We'll get up to around 61 in the afternoon hours tomorrow, not bad. Then going into Friday, we're going to end the week dry, but it's also going to be cooler. You'll see the temperatures here on Friday morning with mainly clear skies. We move down into the 30s, mid-30s for lows on Friday morning, and then afternoon highs will be in the upper 50s on Friday. Then into the weekend, it's going to warm up into the 60s, but we're going to watch additional rain that'll move in on Saturday. I'm not thinking Saturday is going to be a washout. We'll have this little bit that moves through early on Saturday morning, and then in the afternoon, maybe just some scattered showers here and there. But then we're watching for Saturday night, overnight into Sunday, the potential for some storms to develop here. We'll keep an eye on any of those to see if they will turn severe. As of right now, we don't have a weather impact alert in effect for Saturday into Sunday. We're waiting for the high resolution data will start coming in during the day on Thursday, and that'll give us a better idea on the storm threats for the weekend. And then we'll decide whether or not we're going to issue a weather impact alert for that Sunday morning. So you see the dry weather here on Friday, Saturday, 40% chance for showers, Sunday, 70% chance for showers, then dry Monday, dry on Tuesday as well, and then Wednesday we'll go back to about a 30% chance for some showers. Here's a look at the European model. And you can see here what we're watching with Friday, dry conditions here. On Saturday, some of the scattered showers. And then there's the system right there that moves through early on Sunday that will have the potential for some stronger storms. And then behind it, it is going to get cold. It may even shake out some snow in parts of the mountains of North Carolina and into Tennessee. I'm not worried about that into North Georgia. Then Monday is dry and cold. Tuesday looks mainly dry, and then going into Wednesday, another system coming in to give us a chance for rain. Right now, we've got about a 30% chance for showers for your Wednesday, but watching snow to the north and also to the west. We don't think that's going to make it into our area, but we will watch the rain chance as we go into the day on Wednesday. So here is a look at your 7-day outlook. As we're watching that rain move through right now, going into the weekend, we will see the rain chances coming back. So dry conditions here on Friday. We will also have conditions that will be wetter on Saturday with the rain chance going up to 40%, 70% chance for showers on Sunday, and then dry Monday and Tuesday. We will have the weather conditions here getting wet again on Wednesday, and then tapering off again on Thursday too. Before I sign off, I want to go back to radar though. I want to show you again some of these showers and storms moving through. We just got a special weather statement out of the National Weather Service that is showing here that we have right now those storms, sorry about that, those storms that are moving through Alabama or moving through Coweta County right now. Those storms are showing some heavy rain moving through and some 40-mile-an-hour winds. So again, not classified as severe, but we've got some 40-mile-an-hour winds here with this coming through Coweta County right now. I just wanted to read this just to make sure. I want to look at the velocity mode just to make sure I'm not seeing anything there that looks crazy or anything. And this right here is the radar site, so it's hard to see if there would be any rotation. I'm not seeing really any rotation right there. But again, just know that I'm here keeping an eye on this, watching it. But we've got a 40-mile-an-hour winds going through Coweta County right now. Also Spalding County, Fayette, Northern Meriwether, and Northeastern Troup County, as well as there in Coweta County, this heavier rain that's moving through. It could cause some tree limbs to come down. Also with the saturated ground, we have to watch for the potential for any trees that could come down due to the saturated ground, even though these aren't classified as severe winds that are moving through. I just want to make sure we have another mesoscale discussion that just came in. Let me see what we have here with that, talking about whether or not severe weather threat in Alabama, a lowering probability of tornado and strong wind threat should persist through the early morning. I'm trying to see here. They're not talking about extending that into the watch that I showed you earlier. And again, we're live here with you, and I'm just kind of looking at this as it's coming in. So this is a mesoscale discussion. The National Weather Service puts that out in the Storm Prediction Center, just kind of showing us the status of this tornado watch. Let me turn this sideways so I can see this a little bit better here. A lowering probability of tornadoes and strong wind threats should persist through the early morning hours. the severe weather potential here in South Alabama, that would move into South Georgia, is showing an overall severe potential appears to be on a downward trajectory from earlier this evening with the lack of stronger sustained supercells in that area. So a lot of the intensity is decreasing there, but there's still a low end threat for tornadoes there in the tornado watch still. So they're saying that in Georgia, they're just going to keep watching to see if that intensity level is going to keep going down there on the south side. So as of right now, there's no plan to extend that watch into Georgia, but they're watching it just to make sure that the intensity of those storms does still seem to be coming down. So let's go back up here. Let me put you back on our other radar source, and you can see what we're watching here on the south side in Coweta County. So that really is the strongest part of this system right now in parts of Fayette County, Coweta County, this heavy rain that's moving through. We have some winds. Whenever you see that going from green to yellow to red and orange there in a short little distance, that's indicating some strong winds. And they're saying winds of around 40 miles an hour. We have a couple of lightning strikes as well, but nothing severe out of that. But that's really the strongest cell that we're watching right now pushing through that area. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you. I just wanted to give you this update so you could see what we're watching here through the overnight hours. We're going to leave the radar up for you and show you some of these loops. I'll come back on here on 11 Alive Plus if necessary overnight. And of course, if there's anything breaking during the overnight hours, like a tornado warning or anything, which we don't think would happen, then I would break in on air on 11 Alive. So keep it here to see the radar loops for a bit. I'll break in just a little while if I need to. So we'll have more on that for you coming up in just a little bit.